time does the meeting start tomorrow?
Tomorrow's 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Good.
And tell them,
Yep.
I mean,
Good deal.
they could ever take off.
It is across South Georgia. It's vacancies and struggles to get doctors and physician's assistants down there. Right now, we're just trying to get nurses. Scott's trying. He said he could hire 300 nurses right now.
Wow.
And on this project, he says any student that finishes their associates in registered nursing, they're guaranteed a job.
What's this kind of sort of salary do they have?
I'm not sure what they have down there, but it's in the 50s. So,
That's ridiculous.
yeah,
Straight out of school.
straight out of school. And somebody asked me, they said, so they're going to allow a 19-year-old to start right in as a registered nurse. So, what does that mean? So, they'll have their CNA out of high school and 3 semesters after they finish high school. If we can get them to accept the students as full-time or admitted into the nursing program in their second semester senior year, then that'll be the 4th semester. State board says a minimum 4 semesters in the registered nursing program. By December, they'll finish all their prereqs for all these
Thank
states. Right on into kind of a delayed entry. If we can get the post-secondary and the state board of nursing to agree to that. So looking from 5 semesters to 3 post-high school. Scott says I can
Guaranteed a job.
guaranteed a job. Scott said I need 300 now, and every year after that's 100. Working with Sumter, Terrell, Doherty, we're hoping that we can get close to 80 into 2 years. That can happen. Logistics to do that. So, everything ready for conference? Get everything ready for conference?
I think so.
Good deal. I'm sure everybody's excited for it, ready to get back and see each other.
Are you coming to summer conference? It's your still in trouble first.
January. We can request and we can attend day in the event that we need to be there. So if we have a presentation, except for the presentation, we come in for that day. If it's a conference and you only present on one day.
Is that a finance issue or is it a legal issue? Or is it just we don't know an issue?
Yes.
Tracy. Which one are we doing?
Rules is in here, budget's in here.
Budget's in the Mary Sue Murray room.
That's right.
This rules, this is boring. We're gonna go spend some money. Go in.
Well, you have a long list to spend it on.
Yes. Yeah, the last cabinet meeting, hopefully in June meetings, I think the list was delivered.
Yes.
So, yeah. I think they're everything.
What, I think the rate we had 54 budget.
close to that here, but yeah.
I should say. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good to see smiling faces again.
Exactly, yes, sir.
A little bit.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to have
I just bragged on
coming up to
you.
our
You did.
Yeah.
fresh
I
new
was
area
at,
too.
That's hopefully UTSA.
Matt showing and Duke Q,
And,
looking at,
Someone work?
I owe you, I owe you, or did I send you information about, the road? All right, I just had a momentary lapse on that didn't.
Oh, you're at the time that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I think must have been here, but at least they was wipe it down.
Okay.
Don't feel like you gotta vacuum anything. So, you doing well? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm staying busy for the summer, I would imagine.
My calendar keeps adding things to it. I thought, well, I'll have a little chance to slow down. And I hope between now and, this week's shot, so I'm getting a countdown, next week maybe a little bit. But, once I get July, then
Oh, yeah, we have all those conferences.
conferences, yeah. And it's
School, schools start before we do.
Well, that's what I looked at. I mean, some, actually, we had some districts, I think they're actually starting school almost mid-July, I think, what I heard.
My son starts the last week in June. And they start with, his birthday's on August the 2nd, the first year ever he'll have students on his birthday.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, so I think, I mean, I'm hearing a little bit of that, some people are starting. I know we have a lot of summer schools.
But it's having started.
They have like
Is that
27,000
the only
kids,
system,
I think. Already, I know, had 6,000 kids.
And on some of the school districts doing like a 2 weeks before school starts.
Yeah, I think
To
they'll
do
do it,
some
yeah,
kind of
some type of
remediation.
power to work with that. I think it's like, almost, gonna have to get the staff. So, I think everybody's trying to balance that out too.
The first two courses are occupational safety, which is, they get the Rosha 10 card that everybody wants students to have.
People don't realize how hard
It's the center of the carpenter, or intern
Well, I
construction.
mean, I shared with some groups, I said, well, just imagine, if I was a teacher, and I was teaching virtual and on, and in person, I said, my preps were double.
That's exactly right.
And then you had all those kids, I mean, one of our biggest problems at school was just the kids coming, you know, with the quarantine. So kids were out, in, and so you're trying to catch those kids up. So it's almost, in some cases, you basically tripled your preps and stuff.
And just the mental, you know,
Oh, yeah.
with the fact that my son says you don't know how bad it is to teach all day with a mask.
Trust me, to wear one all day, you know?
Hi Lisa, how are you?
Not good. Yeah, I think this jacket has.
Rules is in here. I was gonna say, I thought it was in here.
I think rules, yeah, it should be in here.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready when you get, whenever you guys are. Hey. Got it?
Okay, I was wondering.
Pretty well. I think, just to let you know, Chairman Sweeney, we are gonna get this table extended. So, make room for our teacher here, but also I think in case we begin to see additional congressional seats added, so. So we'll make a slight change, so I'm not sure, next month, we may or may not have a table.
It's an interesting design.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I understand, it's about a process table.
It was what?
Process table. It's a custom built.
Which one? Oh, this one. Hey, you wanna set that, table in the bathroom?
What they,
It's a new table in the bathroom.
I'll look at it, I'll
All right.
remember what we have. 'Cause we'll clean it out.
I'd be interested in it. But
Ellen, it's all you.
it'd be ready to go.
Sure.
Who are we missing? Stan, Tina, and Michael.
Well,
Tiffany,
Dr.
I'm gonna
Mosley
go
and Ms.
ahead.
Petty are online.
They're online? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to call the Rules Committee to order. And I am obviously filling in for Dr. Mosley and Vina. We have Stan and Mike Long that are in Jekyll with the RISA. And so we're missing a few here, but I think they're online. Is that correct, Tiffany?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay. Well, since we're called to order, Tiffany, we'll start with,
Okay, the first item on the agenda is the adoption of the cosmetology state licensure courses. So cosmetology teachers and advisory boards across the state have worked to find ways to increase lab time to help students achieve the 1,500 hours required by the Georgia State Board of Cosmetology to take the certification exam. A draft of 9 consecutive courses were revised with current protocols and expectations in today's cosmetology businesses and Georgia State Board of Cosmetology regulations. All courses are aligned to meet the expectations of achieving the 1,500 training hours required for a student to take the State Board certification exam. The courses will serve as standalone courses that will allow room for scheduling flexibility after the initial introduction to personal care services course. The courses in the pathway were approved to be posted for comment at the May board meeting and have been posted for more than 30 days.
all right, any questions or comments?
None.
So everyone in favor of moving it to consent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Item number 1 moves to consent. Next one.
Item number 2 on the agenda is the adoption of the film production career pathway courses. So the Georgia Film Academy, numerous industry members and film teachers from Gwinnett, Fulton, and Clayton counties collaborated to create a secondary career pathway designed to introduce students to the many critical supports and necessary film production departments needed to create a film in Georgia and assist students to transition smoothly to a post-secondary educational pathway or into an in-demand career in the Georgia film industry. The essence of this career pathway grew out of an interest in creating courses necessary for all film production departments associated with the film. This career pathway is designed to give all students the opportunity to complete the audio and video technology in film, introduction to film production, and film production applications courses, and prepare students to work on a film production set or attend Georgia Film Academy or another post-secondary institution for additional trainings. These courses in the pathway were approved to be posted for comment at the May board meeting and have been posted for more than 30 days.
Any questions or comments? Martha, do you have any comments on this?
No, I did just interview
Yeah.
Jeff, though, today for about a half an hour on my program, and it's posted on Access WDUN, so you can hear him talk about those film career pathways.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that, that the infrastructure that has been built up in Georgia surrounding this industry is just, is amazing. I mean, you take a look at the production facilities, you take a look at this. The hope, of course, is that the financial structure as well as the legislative support that is there for this industry remains.
Yeah.
I think that the training, though, for these jobs is unique to Georgia. I mean, there are some courses at UCLA out in Los Angeles and a few things, but nothing like we have put together here as far as a film school.
Yeah, and the writing shops there, here, yeah. Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, I know it's for adoption. Can we move this to consent?
Yes.
Is everybody in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Item number 3, please.
Item number 3 is the adoption of the poultry science career pathway courses. So Georgia agricultural education teachers, along with industry partners, University of Georgia Poultry Science, University of North Georgia Poultry Science, Athens Technical College, and state and federal agencies collaborated to create a secondary career pathway designed to introduce students to poultry science and avian science and biotechnology, and assist students to transition smoothly to a post-secondary educational pathway or into an in-demand career in the Georgia poultry industry. This career pathway grew out of an interest in poultry science in our state, as the poultry industry is our lead industry in the agricultural sector and is designed to give all students the opportunity to complete the basic ag science, poultry science, and avian science and biotechnology courses. The courses in the pathway were approved to be posted for comment at the May board meeting and have been posted for more than 30 days.
Any questions, comments? John, do you want to say anything about that one? Didn't Middle Georgia have some involvement near Perry or somewhere on this too?
UGA, yes.
Well, UGA, but in Perry, Georgia, did not the poultry?
The poultry, there was some involvement from Purdue down there, yes, and very excited. Gilmer County is also very excited about these courses. They've received a $400,000 grant from Pilgrims of LJ to be able to help support their poultry research center that they're building up there. So this is very timely and very effective for them.
Right. And Martha, I know the poultry capital of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be popular there, and we've got the research facility close in Gainesville too, so.
How many research facilities now do we have across the state? Do we know?
I mean, I know of 3, but one's affiliated with the University of Georgia, one's freestanding, but, you know, it's important.
Right.
Yeah,
USDA in Athens.
yeah, that's where my son works, actually.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of moving to consent?
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? All right. Tiffany, number,
Item number 4, approval to post marketing career pathway courses. This item is being requested to post for 30 days public review and comment. The standards for the marketing and communications pathway were updated and revised by experienced Georgia teachers, marketing professionals from various backgrounds and industries, and post-secondary educators from the Technical College System of Georgia and University System of Georgia. The revisions included rearranging the content, making updates to outdated standards, deleting standards that were no longer relevant, and adding content related to digital marketing and technologies. If approved by the board, these courses will be posted for 30 days for public review and comment.
any questions or comments? John, do you want to comment on this?
Tiffany said it all.
Okay, sounds good. All in favor of approval to post?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, these will be approved to post. Number 5.
Item number 5, approval to post middle school information technology career cluster computer science courses. So this item is being requested to post for 30 days public review and comment. This course, which was adopted by the State Board of Education in May 2021, is being amended to add the State Board of Education standards for career and technical student organization leadership and skill development. If approved, these courses will be posted for 30 days for public review and comment.
Any questions or comments? Do you have anything, John, on that?
This is just a cleanup to be able to make sure that we had our CTSO standard in our middle grades class for IT.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, is everyone in agreement to approve to post these? And we'll move them.
Any questions on number 6?
Yes.
Any opposed? All right, they will be posted. Tiffany?
Item number 6, approval to post cloud computing pathway courses. This item is being requested to post for 30 days public review and comment. Amazon Web Services reached out to the Georgia Department of Education's CTAE division to develop a pathway to produce entry-level workers in the cloud computing industry. The department, Amazon Web Services, and other industry partners developed the cloud computing pathway, which includes the courses Introduction to Software Technology, Computer Science Principles, and Cloud Computing. Introduction to Software Technology will give students a strong foundation in writing code using a variety of programming languages. Computer Science Principles is a current course that was updated to make it more relevant with today's technologies. And Cloud Computing is the third course in the program. Upon completion of Cloud Computing and the pathway, students should be able to earn several credentials of value related to cloud computing, including one for Amazon Web Services, one for Google, and one for Microsoft. Students will be ready to continue their studies with an aligned cloud computing program offered through the Technical College System of Georgia. If approved, these courses will be posted for 30 days for public review and comment.
Any questions or comments?
I think this is a great opportunity. The Amazon Web Services, Amazon facilities are going up all over the state, so this is a great opportunity for our young people.
John, I have a question. In middle school, how many of these similar courses do we have? Athena, you might know too from being there. Coding, and I know is offered in middle school. What else is?
Contract is needed to ensure a smooth competitive process by an organization.
There's several classes that are offered to middle school kids, but it's usually specific to whatever the school system in that area chooses. But you know, they do have the coding, because a lot of them they have the robotics teams now, and I know they're bringing some stuff back that had gone kind of dormant in the past, you know, kind of like keyboarding and that type of stuff. But there, you know, some school systems have it where they just like pass through, spend 6 weeks in each CTAE class they have, and then as an 8th grader they can pick one for the year that they think they like. But there's quite a few out there. It's just, you know, what each school system wants for their kids.
And then feed into the high school upon
So,
passing.
but it's a connectivity sort of course.
6 to 12.
Right, 6 to 12.
Yes.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds great. Any other questions or comments? Everyone agree to move it to consent to post? All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? All right.
Yes.
It will be moved to post. Number 7.
Item number 7 is the approval of the fiscal year 22 Special Education State Advisory Panel. The State Advisory Panel for Special Education, as required by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and SBOE Rule 160-4-7.01, Purpose for Exceptional Students, serves as an advisory group to the Georgia Department of Education's Division for Special Education Services and Supports, and the State Board of Education on issues related to special education and related services for children with disabilities. The State Advisory Panel advises the Department of Unmet Needs within the state in education of children with disabilities, in developing evaluations and reporting on data to the Federal Secretary of Education and the Office of Special Education Programs, in developing corrective action plans to address findings identified in federal monitoring reports under IDEA, and in developing and implementing policies relating to the coordination of services for children with disabilities. The State Advisory Panel also advises the department on improvement activities to support achievement of students with disabilities through the development of the State Performance Plan and Annual Performance Report. The panel also participates in the continuous improvement monitoring process by recommending target areas for upcoming focused monitoring activities. The composition of the State Advisory Panel is addressed in the IDEA Improvement Act and the Georgia Rules for Special Education. Members serve 3-year terms, and a majority of the panel members must be parents of children with disabilities or individuals with disabilities. Applications for membership were distributed to a variety of stakeholder groups through email, through the department website, and advocacy partners such as Parent to Parent and the Georgia Advocacy Office. The membership committee of the State Advisory Panel reviews the applications as well as the composition of the panel, consideration in relation to demographics, disability area, age of the students whose parents are panel members, and the area of the state are determinants for identifying new members. These recommendations are in accordance with IDEA requirements of at least 51% of members being parents of students with disabilities or individuals with disabilities.
Thank you. Does someone need to mute their phone, or is that something that we're having in the box? The feedback, do we know?
I think it's probably, sounds like someone probably
Okay.
muting their phone.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah, if you're on it, would you please mute? We're getting a little feedback. Any questions or comments? I know how important this committee is, and how diverse it is, and the need to have parents on it makes a big difference too. Anyone else have any comments or questions?
Dr. Dixon, anything on that front?
No, I'm just appreciative to the panel. We have been able to meet face-to-face, and the panel is the largest size ever to ensure that we have that diversity, and they have been committed to meeting virtually and looking forward to resuming regular activities. But we've made so much movement just regarding getting their feedback and making sure they were included. And I know even during the last panel meeting, Matt Cardoza and Charmaine Simmons were able to plug in and share at a very high level kind of questions and get stakeholder feedback around the American Rescue Plan. And so it's not just IDEA. A lot of times we integrate other topics that we want to make sure that population is aware of and get their feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Dixon, thank you, and thank you for what you do and that support there. Any other questions or comments? If not, is everyone in approval to move this to consent?
Yes.
All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Then item 7 will be posted to move to consent. Number 8.
Item number 8 is approval of the Special Needs Scholarship Programs 2021-22 private school list. The official Code of Georgia annotated, Section 20-2-2115, requires the State Board of Education to authorize private schools that will be eligible to participate in the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship Program. Private schools that are interested in participating in the program have until June 30th, 2021 to apply for the 2021-2022 school year and must meet eligibility requirements outlined in rule and law to be considered. Having met these eligibility requirements, the following private schools are seeking to participate in the program: Liberty Eagle Academy in Carrollton County, Providence School of Tifton Incorporated in Tift County, Hillside Montessori of LaGrange Incorporated in Troup County, Carmen Adventist Schools in Cobb County, Crossroads Christian Academy in Pierce County, and Majestic Preparatory Academy located in Gwinnett County.
Any questions or comments? I had a comment, and Tiffany, I asked her about this because this was the first time I think that I had noticed that kindergarten was opened for schools to apply and kids to apply for a special needs scholarship. And Tiffany refreshed my memory that this was with the new bill that just passed. And would you talk about that a little bit? And could I get you to send the rewrite of that bill to all the board members?
Absolutely, sure. So Senate Bill 47,
Yes.
which passed during the most recent legislative session and was signed by the governor and goes into effect in July 1, actually expands the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship to now also allow 504 students that are categorized in specific areas, as well as expands the prior year attendance requirement to also include students who received pre-K special services. So that's how you capture that kindergarten year. Since they received preschool special education services, then they could enter in kindergarten potentially.
Okay, and you'll send us the update.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any questions, other questions or comments? If not, is everyone in favor of moving this to consent?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Yes.
All right, if not, we will move item number 8 to consent. Any other questions or comments from rules? This includes our agenda. Anyone else have any comments? Well, thank you all for being here today, and thank you all for what you do. And we're adjourned.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please enter a conference ID followed by pound. You're now joining the meeting.
Are you running the meeting?
Be me.
All right, I'm glad.
Sir?
What? Yep, I think so.
We'll give a few moments for people to transition over. Let's go over a little bit. You have the folks online want to come over.
Excuse me.
So, Tiffany, when is she coming back? She's here.
Kids enjoying being out of school?
They're in school.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Good. I'll just be able to see everybody kind of face to face. Better reception in here. Room that's 80 degrees. Might get one bar.
Perfect day.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I mean, I can be in there, I can take 2 steps and cross. So, I'm surrounded by myself. Let me,
Just check. Stand online. We have our other members online.
I'll double check things like word for all.
I'm not sure who's calling yet. I'm texting.
I can actually text.
No, he's still in budget. The budget's still going, yeah. So you give him a few minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, Stan. How are you today?
Good afternoon. My name's Stan DeJarnett, and I am the chair of the Charter and District and Flexibility Committee. I'm joining you remotely today, so I'm going to turn over the responsibility for running of this meeting to Vice Chair Kenneth Mason. Kenneth, are you with us yet?
I'm here.
Thank you. We were just leaving a budget meeting. Sorry we were delayed just a few minutes. Kenneth, I'm going to turn it over to you, and when you've got everybody in the room that needs to be there and everybody online that needs to be there, please feel free to proceed as
All
you
right.
see fit.
We'll do that. Should be just in a few moments.
Stan, Matt Donaldson's here.
I see you, Matt. Thank you.
All right, I think we can move forward, Ms. Towns, so we can bring the this meeting in order for charter schools and district flexibility.
Butch needs to mute.
Hey, just FYI, Scott Johnson just joined.
Okay, maybe we should do a little intro for who we have on the committee meeting today and who's online. I'll start. Kenneth Mason, 5th Congressional District.
Stan DeJarnett, 10th Congressional District.
Matt Donaldson, 12th Congressional District.
And Scott Johnson, the 11th.
Benna Petty, the 14th.
Okay, great.
Maury Wills, Bates, Charter Schools.
Good afternoon, Candace McKinley, DeKalb County Public Schools Office of School Innovation.
Excellent. Welcome. Thank you.
Ready
All
to
right.
start?
Yes. Let's go ahead and start with item 1.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is the approval of a charter contract for System Collaborative Charter Schools. So Senate Bill 153 from the 2021 legislative session mandated the transition of System Collaborative State Charter Schools to state chartered special schools by July 1st, 2021. The 3 identified System Collaborative State Charter Schools: Coastal Plains Education Charter High School, Foothills Education Charter High School and Mountain Education Charter High School are transitioning from state charter schools commission schools to state chartered special schools directly authorized by the State Board of Education. The contract term lengths for each charter school mirrors the terms identified in their state charter schools commission's contract and allowed by law.
All right, we had a good in-person meeting with them last month. Any questions, concerns before we move this to consent? Hearing none, let's move to item 2.
Item number 2 is a charter renewal for the DeKalb Agriculture, Technology, and Environment Charter School, otherwise known as DATE. DATE Charter School is a K-8 local charter school authorized by the DeKalb County Board of Education and is seeking a renewal for a 5th charter term. DATE has approximately 770 students with a school population that is 31% economically disadvantaged and 7% English language learners. DATE's mission is to educate students about the need to consider environmental, agricultural, and technological ramifications to improve conditions and other business decisions via a hands-on, community-oriented curriculum. DATE was approved by the DeKalb County Board of Education in November 2020 for a 5-year charter renewal and recommended for a 5-year renewal by the Charter Advisory Committee in March of 2021. And there are some members from DATE that are remotely on the line.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Great. Please go ahead.
This is Stan DeJarnett. I just have one question. I want to make sure I'm reading this and I'm hearing this correctly. I do understand that we're renewing this for a 5-year term, but this is also your 5th term, or am I not reading that
My
correctly?
5th renewal. When we first started, we would only get a renewal for probably 1 or 2 years back in 2004 or 5. And so they increased the terms to 3 years, 5 years after that. So, yes, it seems like a lot, but actually it's not.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you. We're going 16 years strong. This is our 16th year. So we're happy about that and the success our students are having in community. So thank you.
This is Martha Zoller from the 9th District. Where is it located? Where's the school located?
Date is located in Stone Mountain, Georgia, off of East Ponce and Kelton Drive.
Great. Thank you.
And I do, if I could, wanted to make a brief correction to the economically disadvantaged. We actually have 63% economically disadvantaged. So I don't know if that's data that is not current, but we do have more than 30%.
We can note that amendment on the item. I just wanted to say that I got a chance to work with a lot of environmental science teachers this past year, given the impact of the pandemic and teaching children to be able to appreciate the land, the agriculture, how it provides and sustains us. So your theme is so critical for an understanding for folks locally and nationally. So thank you for your continuance on this idea and this concept, and I'm glad you've had success.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And one thing that our students really love in our community is that not although does it provide content that's specific to their needs, but it's also very engaging and increases their motivation to learn when we all tie that in together. And so thank you.
Yes, making STEM more than an acronym, I can imagine.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Any objection to moving this to consent? Hearing none, let's move to item 3.
Item number 3 is approval of a charter amendment for Charles Drew Charter School. So Charles R. Drew Charter School, Drew Charter, seeks to amend its charter contract to amend its attendance zone priority A to encompass the city of Atlanta through the 2021-2022 school year. Attendance Zone Priority A for Drew Charter currently prioritizes enrollment for students enrolled in a partner pre-K program who reside in the villages of East Lake, or Kirkwood neighborhoods of Atlanta. This priority change will allow pre-K students who are currently enrolled in partner pre-K programs and reside in the city of Atlanta to be placed in priority A for lottery admission to Drew's kindergarten.
Any questions? Anyone from Drew online? No? Today? Any objective to moving this item to action and consent? Hearing none. Let's move to item 4.
Item number 4 is charter system renewal for Stevens County Schools. So the Stevens County Schools Board of Education approved Stevens County Schools charter system renewal petition on April 15th, 2021. In their last charter system term, Stevens County Schools utilized their flexibility to enhance career preparedness programs at all grade levels, applied interventions for students based on needs, including systematic targeting, implementation, review, and revision of interventions based on data, and improved the targeted coursework for high school students, better preparing them for admission requirements at technical schools and colleges. If approved, Stevens County will utilize the flexibility granted within their system charter contract to develop targeted, high-quality interventions and flexible approaches for academically struggling and advanced students, and implement a comprehensive, vertically integrated approach to career exploration at the K-2 level, bridging to early career introduction, and student interest-centered work at upper elementary, then segueing into a more comprehensive pathway education at the middle school. On June 11, 2021, the Charter Advisory Committee voted to recommend approval for a 5-year term for Stevens County Schools for July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2026. And there are representatives in the room for Stevens County.
Excellent.
Okay. Superintendent Oldham and Mr. Cowan.
Thanks for coming up and joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. It's an honor to come down from Toccoa, Georgia, and be here in the great city of Atlanta and be before you. So given the opportunity to share some of the great things that we're doing, we're looking forward to build upon the last, it's actually been 7 years because we had a couple of amendments to the contract, the work that's been done being a charter system. One of the things that we have found is a great foundation is it's really leveraged our community. Our SGTs work at a very high level. They have a great relationship with our principals, and they have a big impact on our planning and the things that we're doing every day in our schools. So just going through that process and building that from zero to where we are today, we really feel like we're positioned well to carry out our innovative features. Would love to share just one quick story about a student that we actually got into a career pathway of aviation mechanics. I don't know if you know much about Stevens County, but we don't have a large airport in Stevens County, but we do have a small airport. And we do have a mechanic there who actually took a student under his wing, and through work-based learning and that opportunity, he got that pathway in our high school. And so we want to try to continue to find the things that are in our community that's going to serve our community, but it's also going to serve our students and give them the path to success, whether it's straight into a career, into a professional degree program at a technical college or a 4-year university, and really customize it to our community. So we feel that the charter is pivotal in allowing us to do that. So we are very optimistic about what we can do in the next 5 years.
Any questions, comments? Well, I had a comment. I was going to ask you what you've learned throughout the years using that flexibility. But I want to amend that question to hearing your career focus. And you took the initiative and the courage to move it back to early elementary.
Yes.
What's that process been like for you? How did you arrive at that decision? And what's that future look like for you?
Well, this is actually my first year as superintendent in Stevens County. So it's a heck of a year to start as a first-year superintendent.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. We made it. But we looked at it and said, what are the things that we're doing that are compliance-driven? You have the bridge law and you have the things that have been put out there. And we felt like behind that was a greater vision, to do more for kids. And so honestly, one of the things that we found in Stevens County is that the biggest question we can answer is, what do these kids want to be when they grow up? And you got to start at the beginning, because that's when you get them engaged. That's when they're most malleable. So you may ask a kindergartner what they want to be, and you're going to get a cowboy, you're going to get an astronaut, you're going to get a football player, you're going to get all kinds of things. But if we're intentional about what we're doing there and where they want to go, we want to take them on tours of the high school so they can see the high school that sits above them. Our Big A Elementary, which is our pre-KK program, literally sits below our high school. So those kids look up to those kids and that opportunity. Instead of it being something they're going to learn about right before they leave 8th grade, by the time they leave 8th grade, I want them to go, I know exactly what I'm going to do at that high school and where it's going to get me. And you got to start at the beginning. You got to start in kindergarten, because that's what gets them engaged. Because if you can get them engaged in loving school and excited about what we're offering, then you make a difference. But not only that, you may find in those early grades, I've got a group of kids that want to do something that we don't offer. That gives me 3 years to plan, so when they get there, 4 years to plan when they get there, to have that program ready for that group of kids, or something that's changed in our community. So I just believe you got to start at the very bottom and engage them and plan to meet their needs.
Thank you for that. Any objection to moving this to consent? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Item number 5.
All right, item number 5 is a charter system contract amendment for Randolph County Schools. This item is for a request to amend the charter system contract for Randolph County Schools to extend their charter term to June 30th, 2022. Randolph County Schools is in need of a 1-year extension to their charter system contract to provide additional time necessary to sufficiently implement the intervention strategies and initiatives for stability and improvement. In June 2021, the Charter Advisory Committee voted to recommend approval for a 1-year extension of Randolph County's charter system contract with a new term end date of June 30th, 2022.
Anyone online to speak for Randolph? I had an opportunity to speak to Ms. Johnson about the department's work, the team, school improvement team's work in Randolph, and of course, y'all know Stephanie. She's got her hands and minds in everything, and she reassured me in that conversation that Randolph's got a good solid foundation to start to build this plan on. So I'm excited to see what's next. Any other comments, objections to moving this to consent? Hearing none. Let's move to item 6.
Item number 6 is approval of the fiscal year 22 Charter School Board Governance Training Providers. The official Code of Georgia annotated, Section 20-2-2072, and State Board Rule 160-4-9.06 require charter school governing boards to receive governance training from charter school board governance training providers approved by the State Board of Education. Charter school governing boards must receive annual training within the 10 domains of the Standards for Effective Governance of Georgia Nonprofit Charter School Governing Boards, which include governance, strategic planning, board and community relations, policy development, board meetings, personnel, financial governance, ethics, workforce economic development, and joint venture among business, school system, technical college, and others. Training providers are solicited by request for proposal, and applications are vetted by Georgia Department of Education staff. We are seeking approval for the 20 providers on the attached list.
And we had 2 new added to the list, is that correct?
Yes, for this year.
And a few other minor changes within. I mean, a few little of the curriculum change and all. There's always a little bit of
Within the, okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this provider list? Okay, hearing none, we can move this into consent. And to item 7.
Item number 7 is the affirmation of the charter approvals for the State Charter School Commission schools. The official Code of Georgia annotated, Section 20-2-2083, states that the State Board of Education shall review and may overrule the approval or renewal of a state charter school by the State Charter Schools Commission within 60 days of such a decision by the Commission upon a majority vote of the members of the State Board. On April 28, 2021, the State Charter Schools Commission considered approvals for 7 schools. The Commission granted 5-year charter contracts to 7 schools, including DeKalb Brilliance Academy, Miles Ahead Charter School, Liberation Academy, Destinations Career Academy of Georgia, Zest Preparatory Academy Charter School, Peace Academy, and Resurgence Hall Middle Charter School. And we do have Ms. Lauren Holcomb, from Executive Director of the State Charter Schools Commission, here to share information about the schools.
Please. Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon. Yes, thank you for having me here today. I will be brief, but I thought it might be helpful just to give the committee an overview of the commission and what our petition review process looks like. So again, I'm Lauren Holcomb. I'm the executive director of the commission. You probably all know what the commission is, but for our audience who's listening, the commission is Georgia's statewide independent charter school authorizer. So folks come to us with a petition, either if they've been rejected by a local board of education or if they want to serve a broad geographic attendance zone. So this specific cohort of petitions actually submitted to us last year in April of 2020, right after the world ended for a minute. So thank you to this group for hanging in there for so long. So we had to suspend our petition process. Obviously, things took a turn, so we pivoted. We put a pin in our petition process, and we resumed it in fall of 2020. We gave the petitioners a chance to update their petition, so you might see some things about pandemic planning that we wouldn't have thought of necessarily when they were writing their petitions in March of 2020, but they have adapted, as all of our schools have. They went through the petition process to resubmit in fall of 2020. All of the petitions go through a very rigorous staff review before we even allow them to be interviewed. So we look at legal compliance, ensuring that their budgets are sound, that they've submitted all the appropriate documentation. After we kind of check those boxes, we go through an even more intensive staff review of vetting providers that may be associated with the petition. And of course, there's a capacity interview, which involves staff, our board members, and any external experts. We know that we don't have all the expertise in our office, so we always want to involve external experts as well. So we involve national authorizing experts as well as external experts in Georgia who are involved in business, school operations, other types of just external things that may be involved in schools. And then that panel formulates a recommendation for the full board of commissioners. And so the 7 petitioners that you see before you today received a positive recommendation and were approved by our board. And I should have said this at the very beginning, but that's because we believe that they'll help us fulfill our mission, which is helping kids get better educational opportunities than they would otherwise receive. So we're generally looking at, does this petition have the potential to outperform the schools academically in the area where they're trying to draw kids from? So we have representatives from all the schools here. We're happy to answer any questions that you have, but that's a little bit about us and our process.
Any questions? I mean, I kind of hate for the schools to come all this way and not to be able to speak about what they do. So
I think they would be happy with an affirmation, but they're definitely also happy. They welcome questions, and they're happy to answer any questions that you have of them.
Yes. So if there's any petitioner that'd like to say anything, but I think we can move forward with the affirmation.
Yes.
We okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so we can move this.
Mr. Mason.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
And it's Matt Donald.
Oh, hey, Matt.
I just want to make sure I understand. So these are the state charter schools that are funded at a state level, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And in
Thank
fact,
you.
And in fact, we have a lot of new board members that may not even know the history of the commission. I think maybe in a future committee meeting, we can allow you to go more thoroughly into that process. And then as we're going through the petition process this year, we'll all be more informed with how it may even look differently this year and be more connected with the process.
Yes, we absolutely welcome that. We're happy to give information whenever you want it.
All right.
Kenneth, this
this is Stan. I would just wanted to share with the rest of the committee that I met with Lauren and the chairman of the State Charter Schools Commission, Buzz Brockway, last week. And part of that dialogue is that we're going to have more regular communication, both formal and informal. We discussed some other ways of generating maybe a summary report. It is called for in statute, and we are talking about some ways that we can increase the collaborative atmosphere between our two bodies, but also do it in the best interest of petitioners and not just talk just to talk. But I think the things that you referenced, Kenneth, just a second ago, I think we're going to be seeing more of in the future. Also with maybe a short annual report at some point in the year so that they can summarize their work, but also have a more informal dialogue when this committee meets. And I think it's going to be good for everyone. So I was very pleased to have the opportunity to meet with them. And we look forward to increased level of collaboration as we move forward.
That's great.
Thank you, Stan. Yes, Ms. Kimball.
Great idea.
Dr. DeJarnette, I'm glad that you said that that's taking us back to what we were doing prior to this past couple of years. So I'm glad to hear that, because we need to hear more about the schools that are petitioning, and from your organization as well, that are affirming these schools. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And I would too concur with that, especially since these are funded at a state level. So.
Any other comments? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll just thank Chairman DeJarnette for meeting with me before, and thank you to the committee. And I should have said before, thank you to the Charter Division staff at DOE for the recommendation to affirm these petitions. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Without any other comments or questions, we'll adjourn the Charter Schools Committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Mr. Mason.